Canto 9, Chapter 24, text number 63 to 65. 63 to 65, Lord Krishna, what is explained is Lord Krishna's reciprocation with his devotees. So, previous section till 56 to 62, we discussed the reasons of appearance of Krishna, the activities of Krishna, okay, internal and external reasons. Now, Lord Krishna's reciprocation with his devotees, how he reciprocates. Very important, very nice. We are doing bhakti, but whether Krishna will reciprocate to our bhakti, so that how he reciprocates, that's very important to know. Very nice shlokas. Okay. भोज वृष्णि अंधक मधु सूरसेन दशारह कई श्लाघनीये हितः शश्वत कुरु सृंजय पांडुभि स्निग्ध स्मृतिक्षतो दारैर वाक्यैर विक्रम लीलया निर्लोकं रमयाम आस मूर्त्या सर्वांग रम्यया. Word for word meaning. Bhoja, assisted by Bhoja dynasty, Vrishni and by the Vrishnis, Andak and by the Andakas, Madhu and by the Madhus, Shursena and by the Sursenas, Dasrahakai and by the Dasharhakas, Slaganiya by the praiseworthy, Ihataha endeavoring Shashwat affection, always Kuru, Srinjay Pandubhi, assisted by the Pandavas, Kurus and Srinjayas. Snigdha, affectionate, Smith, smiling, Ikshita, being regarded as Udarai, magnanimous, Vakyai, the instructions, Vikram Leelaya, the pastimes of heroism, Nirlokam, human society, Ramyam Asa, please, Murtya, by his personal form, Sarva Angaramyaya, the form that pleases everyone by all parts of the body. So Krishna, Shashwat Salaghaniya Ihata. Krishna. What is the quality of Krishna? Krishna's quality is Shashwat Salaghaniya Ihata. Salaghaniya, Shashwat, by everyone. Salaghaniya, praised. Krishna, whose actions are praised. Everybody is glorifying Krishna's activities. So Krishna, whose actions are praised. By whom? Bhoja, Vrishni, Andaka, Madhu, Shursena. By the descendants of Bhoja, Vrishni, Andak, Madhu, Sursena, Dasharaha, all these dynasties. Okay, because of Vrishni, the name came Varshneya. Because of the Madhu dynasty, name came Madhava. Because of the Bhoja, Yadu came Yaduvansh. Okay, Yadava. So, Bhoja, Vrishni, Andak, Madhu, Sursen, Dasaraha, all these, Bhoja, Vrishni, Andak, Madhu, Sursen, Dasaraha, Kai, all these descendants of these dynasties, they all are praising actions of Krishna. And Kuru Srinjay Panduvi, Kuru, Srinjay, Pandu, all these dynasties pleased his devotees. And then that Krishna, what he does? Nirlokam Ramyam Asa. That Krishna, who is praised by all these dynasties, that Krishna pleased his devotees. Nirlokam Ramyam Asa. He pleased his devotees. Nirlok, all the devotees, he pleased them. How? By his pleasing. Snigdha Smritik Chitaha. By his pleasing, by his Snigdha Smritik Chitaha means by his pleasing and affectionate glances. That the glance which Krishna, the drishti, kripa drishti, that merciful glance, very affectionate glances of Krishna. And Udarair Vakyair, and his Vakya, his instructions are very Udarai, very satisfying instructions. And Vikram Leelaya, and his heroic actions. Vikram Leelaya, his Leelas are very heroic, Vikrama, using his body which was pleasing in all aspects. Sarvanga Ramya Murtaya. Okay. by using his body which was pleasing in all aspects. Okay. So, assisted by the descendants of Bhoja, Vrishni, Andaka, Madhu, Shurasena, Dasharaha, Kuru, Srinjay, and Pandu, Lord Krishna performed various activities by his pleasing smiles, his affectionate behavior, his instructions, and his uncommon pastimes like raising Govardhan hill. The Lord Krishna, appearing in his transcendental body, pleased all of human society. Okay, that is the translation by Srila Prabhupada. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Purport. The words Nirlokam Ramyam Asa Murtya Sarvang Ramya are significant. Krishna is the original form. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is therefore described here by the word Murtaya. The word Murti means form. Very important. Okay. Nirlokam Ramyam Asa Murtaya. Murtaya Sarvanga Ramya. Okay. So the word Murti is very important, and the meaning of word Murti is form. Krishna or God is never impersonal. Some people understand that God or Krishna don't have form, impersonal, no form, formless. But here it is mentioned, right? That Murtaya Sarvanga Ramya. Okay, the Lord is having form. Okay. So, Sarvanga Ramaya Murtya means Krishna pleases his devotees by his glance, by using his body which was pleasing in all aspects. Very sundar form, Krishna's form, Rupa is very beautiful. All after taking darshan of Krishna, everybody becomes pleased. Krishna or God is never impersonal. The impersonal feature is but a manifestation of his transcendental body. Yasya prabha prabhavato jagadanda koti. But what is that impersonal? Then how come this concept of impersonal form has come? So this impersonal feature, the Brahman, this light, Prakash, this is actually one of the feature of Krishna, one of the manifestation from the transcendental body of Krishna, from Krishna's transcendental body, from Krishna's Satchidananda Vigraha, that Satchidananda body of Krishna, from that Satchidananda body, continuously some light is coming out. That light only is called Brahman. Okay. Yasya prabha prabhavato jagadanda koti. The Lord is Narakriti. Another important point. Narakriti, exactly resembling the form of a human being, but his form is different from ours. Looks like Narakriti, looks like human form, but transcendental. Therefore, because the conditioned soul's human form is material, but Krishna's looks like human form, but that is completely transcendental, completely Satchidananda Vigraha. Therefore, the word Sarvanga Ramyaya informs us that every part of his body is pleasing for everyone to see. Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittipanti pashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti ananda chinmaya sadujjvala vigrahasya govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So, every anga, every part of the body of Krishna is pleasing for everyone to see. Just by seeing God, Krishna, everybody is pleased. The other day I was explaining that when somebody sees Krishna, takes darshan of Krishna, that time the eyes are not the only sense which work for seeing. Generally, for watching, for seeing something, eyes are used, right? Eyes are the senses which are used for seeing. But when someone takes darshan of Krishna, all the senses works as eye. All the senses take darshan. Okay. Ears also will work like eye. Nose also will work like that. This is the result of seeing Krishna. I was telling about Loknath Goswami that when he was taking darshan, he will be completely lost in seeing Krishna. He will forget everything. and you will watch. Continuously you will take darshan. Then Krishna only will think, Arey, he is lost in my beauty. Then if he is continuously standing here and taking my darshan, who will go in the kitchen and cook bhoga for me? But I cannot disturb him. He is very much absorbed in my darshan. So Krishna only will take another form as Loknath Goswami and will go to kitchen and cook for himself. And this is going on every day. Then one day one devotee came and he saw in kitchen one Loknath is there. In temple all taking darshan one Loknath is there. How come two? Then you are confused. My God, what is happening? He asked, which is original? He said, what? I am taking darshan here. He said, then who is cooking in the kitchen? Then they went. So they understood that Krishna only is cooking. So that is the... Then Loknath Goswami thought, my God, my taking darshan is an offense. Why? Because service is disturbed because of my taking offense. Because as soon as I come in front of Krishna, I am lost. So he is on that highest level of bhakti, that taking darshan is like offense. And for us, it is very down. Right? For me, not taking darshan is offense. Right? So, Krishna's body is so beautiful. Krishna, Ram, Bhagavan, Narayan, beautiful, most beautiful. Right? Venum Kwanantam Aravinda Dalaya Daksham Barahavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Ko. Very, very beautiful. Right? Krishna is having Venu, peacock feather, Venum Kwanantam Aravinda Dalaya Daksham Barahavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. Koti, crores of Kamadevs are dying in front of Krishna. Right? When Kamadev saw Krishna, he got fainted. So his name became Madan Mohan. Right? Because he, Madan, Kamadev got illusioned. He got fainted in front of Krishna. So that is why Krishna name became Madan Mohan. Because Kamadev is attracting everyone. But Kamadev himself got attracted towards Krishna. That is the glories of Krishna. So everybody started calling Krishna as Madan Mohan. So this is the beauty of Krishna. Therefore, this word Sarvangaramya informs us that every part of his body is pleasing for everyone to see. Right? When Lord Ramchandra was walking in the street of Ayodhya, then while going to the forest, Ayodhya Vasis came and they were watching. They were seeing Lord Ram going. So the Lord Ram was so beautiful. And since he was wearing this forest dress, so his limbs, body part were visible even more. So everybody was absorbed in the beauty of Lord Ramchandra. So it is mentioned by some devotee that many people could not see Lord Ramchandra fully. Why? Because in first glance, what part of the body they saw, they were just seeing that only. That was so beautiful. For like somebody in first glance saw Lord's hand, then he was just seeing Lord's hand only. And he was so beautiful hand that he was not able to move his eyes to another part. And meanwhile, Lord Ram walked. So he could see only the hand because he was so absorbed in the beauty of hand only. Somebody saw Lord's chest in first glance. Then he was seeing there only and he could not see anything else. Lord Ram walked because anyway he was going. This is the beauty of Lord Ram. Okay, further Prabhupada is writing, Prabhupada is saying, apart from his smiling face, every part of his body, his hands, his legs, his chest is pleasing to the devotees who cannot at any time stop seeing the beautiful form of the Lord. Devotees cannot stop seeing the Lord. Now I have to check my level of bhakti. He's saying devotees cannot any time stop seeing the beautiful form of the Lord. They can continuously see the Lord. This is the beauty. So all the associates possessing unlimited greatness who were present at that time to witness his actions directly are worthy of praise. All the associates possessing unlimited greatness who were present at that time to witness his actions directly are worthy of praise. Being the objects of his prema, attracted to drinking the sweetness of his form with their eyes, giving success to all their senses, such as the ears, they were most fortunate. His glance, Krishna, his glances were pleasing and affectionate. His words fulfilled all desires. Udarai. He gave bliss to his dear human devotees. Nirlokam, by his pastimes of moving his sweet feet or showing his pride and valor in Veera Rasa. These are the beauties explained by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur about Krishna. Okay, 65. यस्याननं मकरकुण्डलचारुकर्णा भ्राजत्कपोल सुभगं सविलासहासं नित्योत्सवं नातत्रिपुरदृशिभिः पिबन्तयो नार्यो नराश्चामुदितः कुपिता निमेश्च. Very beautiful. यस्याननं मकरकुण्डलचारुकर्णा भ्राजत्कपोलसुभगं सविलासहासं नित्योत्सवं न तत्र पुरदृशिभिः पिबन्तयो नार्यो नराश्चामुदितः कुपिता निमेश्च. Yasya, whose ananam face, Makara Kundal Charukarna, decorated with earrings resembling sharks and by beautiful ears. Bhrajat, brilliantly decorated. Kapola, forehead. Subhagam, declaring all opulences. Savilasahasam, with the smiles of enjoyment. Nitya Utsavam, whenever one sees him, one feels festive. Na Tatrapuhu, they could not be satisfied. Drishibhi, by seeing the form of the Lord. Pibantayaha, as if drinking through the eyes. Naryaha, all the women of Vrindavan. Naraha, all the male devotees. Cha, also Muditaha, fully satisfied. Kupitaha, angry. Nimehe, the moment they are disturbed by the blinking of the eyes. Cha, also. Very, very beautiful shloka. Muditaha naryo narascha. The joyful gopis, naryo, narash. The joyful gopis and priya narma shakhas, all the gopas and gopis. Drishibhi pibantayo. Drishibhi, by taking darshan through their eyes, pibantayo, they drank. What? Yasyanam, Krishna's face. Nityotsavam. So, Nityotsavam means it is Nitya festival, continual festival of delight. Nityotsavam, and Savilasahasam, with his playful smile. First of all, yes, Krishna's face is taking darshan, Krishna's face darshan, Nityotsavam, a continuous festival, and on top of that, playful smile, Savilasahasam. It is, and then Bhrajata Kapola Subhagam, Bhrajata Kapola, okay, attractive with beautiful cheeks. Kapola, cheeks are very beautiful. And on top of that, Makara Kundal Charu Karna. In the Karna, in the ears, Makara Kundal, the earrings of the shape of Makar. Okay. So this is the beauty explained. Na Tatripur, but they could not be fully satisfied. Why? And became angry with the Creator who made their eyes blink. Kupita Nimeshcha. So the person, now this is the beauty of Krishna. Nice Makar Kundal, cheeks, eyes, on top of that beautiful smile. So seeing such a face of Krishna, darshan of Krishna is Nitya Utsavam, continual festival. But this gopis and Brajavasis, they are not satisfied. Why? Because in between eyelids are there. Okay. So eyes are blinking. So when eyes blink, that moment they could not see Krishna. So they are becoming very angry on the creator, Brahma, who created this eye link. They are thinking this, he don't know. Why did he created this eye link, eyelids? This, because of this we cannot see Krishna continuously. So he don't know, because eyes, the only work of eyes is to take darshan of Krishna, and on those eyes he created this eyelids. What is the use of this eyelid? Because continuously we have to see Krishna. Then why the eyelids are there? So Brahma don't know how to create. It is a great mistake of creator that he created eyelids. This gopis are saying, right? Mudita naryo narasya. Kupita nimesha. They are getting angry on him. Krishna's face is decorated with ornaments such as earrings resembling sharks. His ears are beautiful, his cheeks brilliant, and his smiling attractive to everyone. Whoever sees Lord Krishna sees a festival. His face and body are fully satisfying for everyone to see. But the devotees are angry at the Creator for the disturbance caused by the momentary blinking of their eyes. Because eye blinking, how much time it takes? We don't even notice, but they notice. Devotees are noticing that because of this eye blink, our darshan to Krishna is disturbed. Because that much they are pibanti. They are taking nectarian rasa, nectar they are drinking by seeing darshan of Krishna. This is the glories. So, Krishna's devotees could not be fully satisfied by drinking his beauty. Okay. This is the summary. Purport. As stated by the Lord himself in the Bhagavad Gita 7.3, Manusyanam sahasreshu kasyid yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kasyin mam vetti tatvataha. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. Unless one is qualified to understand Krishna, one cannot appreciate the presence of Krishna on earth. Among the bhojas, okay, so unless one is qualified to understand Krishna, they cannot appreciate the presence of Krishna. So once we understand Krishna's glories by the mercy of Guru and Prabhupada, then only we will appreciate Krishna. Among the bhojas, Vrishnis, Andakas, Pandavas and many other kings, intimately related with Krishna, the intimate relationship between Krishna and the inhabitants of Vrindavan is especially to be noted. Many devotees, in the previous shloka we understood that many devotees were associating with Krishna. But the inhabitants of Vrindavan, the Brajavasis, they are especially important. That relationship, Brajavasi's relationship with Krishna, that relationship is described in this verse by the words Nityotsavam na tatrapurdashabhi pivantyaha. The inhabitants of Vrindavan, especially such as the cowherd boys, the cows and the calves, the gopis and Krishna's father and mother, they were never fully satisfied, although they saw Krishna's beautiful features constantly, because continuously they were seeing, but still they were not satisfied. Seeing Krishna is described here as Nitya Utsav, a daily festival, continual festival. The inhabitants of Vrindavan saw Krishna almost every moment. But when Krishna left the village for the pasturing grounds where he tended the cows and calves, the gopis were very much afflicted because they saw Krishna walking on the sand and thought that Krishna's lotus feet, which they dared not place on their breast because they thought their breasts are soft, not soft enough, were being pierced by broken chips of stone. Gopis, when they see Krishna is walking in the jungle for cow herding, they feel so much pain. Why? Because they think Krishna's lotus feet are so soft. So when he is walking in the forest barefoot, he will feel so much pain. Because Krishna, because they are even, Prabhupada is writing, which gopis will not dare to place Krishna's lotus feet on their breast, because they think their breasts are not soft enough for Krishna's lotus feet. And when they see that Krishna is walking in the forest, they feel so much pain. By even thinking of this, the gopis were affected and they cried at home. They were crying by seeing this. The gopis, who were therefore the exalted friends of Krishna, saw Krishna constantly, but because their eyelids disturbed their vision of Krishna, the gopis condemned the Creator, Lord Brahma. Therefore, the beauty of Krishna, especially the beauty of his face, is described here. So, Krishna, he will walk in the jungle barefoot. Mother Yashoda said, you should wear some shoes. Krishna said, I am Gopal, I am the servant of cows. So cows are going without shoes. So how can I go with shoes? So first you should make arrangement for Krishna, for all the cows, some shoes. Then I will go, because I am the servant of cows. Cows are going barefoot. How can I put shoes? So Mother Yashoda thought, my God, 9 lakh cows. He said, okay, you also go without shoes, and cows also will go without. So he was walking without any chappal or shoes. But gopis are having so much pain by seeing this. Okay, so Krishna is so beautiful. By taking darshan of Krishna, they are feeling nectarian effect. But when the eyelids blink, they feel disturbed, so they are becoming angry on Brahma. So therefore the beauty of Krishna, especially the beauty of his face, is described here. At the end of the 9th canto, in the 24th chapter, okay, in the 24th chapter, we find a hint of Krishna's beauty. Now here, this is the end of 9th canto. So we are getting a little hint of Krishna's beauty. Now we are proceeding to the 10th canto, which is considered Krishna's head. The entire Srimad Bhagavad Puran is the embodiment of Krishna's form, and the 10th canto is his face. 10th canto is Krishna's face. So before entering in 10th canto, Shukdev Goswami is glorifying the Krishna's face. And when Srimad Bhagavatam is complete, Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna's form, Shastra form. So in that form, the 10th canto is Krishna's face. This verse gives a hint of how beautiful his face is. Krishna's smiling face with his cheeks, his lips, the ornaments in his ears, his chewing of betel nuts. All this was minutely observed by the gopis. Each and everything they observed. Gopis who thus enjoyed transcendental bliss, so much so that they were never fully satisfied to see Krishna's face, but instead condemned the creator of the body for making eyelids that obstructed their vision. So they were not satisfied. Why? Because so much nectar is coming, and continuously all this was gopis, Krishna's very beautiful smiling face, Krishna's beautiful cheeks, Krishna's lips, Krishna's ornaments, Makar Kundal, Krishna's when he chews the betel nuts, everything minutely gopis will observe, and they will enjoy transcendental bliss, and they will enjoy so much that they will not feel satisfied also. Too much. How much? Because in Krishna, every moment the experience, the bliss, the anand is more and more. Anandam buddhi vardhanam pratipadam. It is increasing, so they feel that it should be more and more darshan, so much nectar. But in between this eyelid blink, so they feel very disturbed. That is why they are condemning the creator of the body for making eyelids that obstruct their vision, their darshan. So the beauty of Krishna's face was therefore much more appreciated by the gopis than by his friends and cowherd boys, or even by Yashoda Mata, who was also interested in decorating the face of Krishna. So Prabhupada is saying that even all the cowherd boys appreciated Krishna's beauty. Everyone appreciated. Even Mother Yashoda was so much interested in decorating Krishna's face. But among all the gopis, they were the most exalted, right? And they appreciated Krishna's beauty, Krishna's face much more. Okay. So here, this is the explanation of Krishna's beauty. So here, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that, however, among the devotees, the inhabitants of Braja, and among the inhabitants of Braja, the gopis and the Priya Narma Sakha, such as Subal, were the best among all for drinking Krishna's sweetness. They were the most fortunate of all. Of all his limbs, his face is the sweetest. His face is divided in two parts, upper and lower, giving great sweetness. However, of all the great sweetness of his smile, like an emperor, resides on his lips. Okay, the most powerful, most nectarian is his Krishna's smile. This portion is described. His head ears lit by his makar's earrings, and cheeks lit and made attractive to the viewer, subhagam, by those earrings. Makar kundal, okay. In that Damodar Ashtakam also this shloka comes, na? How it is that? Damodar Ashtakam? That Makar Kundal, Krishna's Lasat Kundalam, right? Yasho Namami Saram Sachidananda Rupam, Lasat Kundalam. That Makar Kundal, when they are shaking like that, when Krishna shakes his head, so that is shining, and on that face was a smiling indicating his joy, longing and fickleness, just as his ears were more beautiful than his earrings, making the earrings more beautiful. So it is not that earrings are increasing the beauty of Krishna, no, but Krishna's ears are increasing the beauty of earrings, because these earrings are on the ears of Krishna, that's why they become beautiful. So this is the beauty of Krishna. Okay, the ornaments which are there on the body of Krishna, they are not making Krishna beautiful, but the ornaments' beauty is increased because they are used in the service of Krishna. So his cheeks were more beautiful than those earrings. When he chewed betel nut, though both the earrings and smiling were charming, the smile was more splendid than his earrings. So the smile is more charming because of the smile's purity, because of its softness, and because of its inflation caused by the betel nut inside. So on top of that, he is first of all cheeks and lips, and then the smile, and that smile is also because he is chewing the betel nut, so it is becoming more and more attractive. So all these devotees, though they drank that smile with the cupped hands of their eyes, so they drink the nectar of the darshan, or that the smile, the nectar of smile of Krishna. How they are drinking that nectar? Through the eyes. But they were not satisfied with it because of the beauty of the edges of his mouth with red lips and teeth, because of its all controlling nature of all the types of sweetness. Krishna's smile is controlling all the sweetness because of its light which extinguished all types of suffering. Just by the smile of Krishna, all the sufferings are gone, because it created greed in Chakora birds' hearts of the devotees to drink that sweetness. Okay, compare is given with the Chakora bird. Okay, that drink, it is so thirsty for the Swati Nakshatra water. So that kind of heart of devotees, so much that a smile is creating greed in the heart of devotees. Greed for what? Greed for taking darshan of Krishna, because it increased the ocean of desire in the young woman, and because its very nature was to create symptoms of madness. This is the glories of Krishna's smile, which destroyed the self-control of the innocent young woman of Vraja. Everybody were getting mad for Krishna. All the young women of Vraja. Unable to tolerate the blinking of their eyes, they become angry with the creator of blinking, Nime. They are getting angry. Among the women, only the gopis and not others exhibited Rudha Mahabhava. This is called Rudha Mahabhava, in which they could not tolerate the blinking of their eyes. So only gopis will exhibit this Rudha Mahabhava, in which in this bhava, they cannot even tolerate the blinking of the eyes. Among the men, only Krishna's Priya Narma Sakhas, like Subala, such as Subala and not others, had such experiences. So among the Sakha very close, like Subal, they only had this high level experiences, since it is impossible for only the gopis and the Priya Narm Sakhas to have rude bhava. This is stated in the Ujjvala Neelamani. Some of the Lord's conjugal lovers experience the varieties of love to the stage of prema, others to anuraga. Others attain the state of mahabhava. The Narma Vayasya friends attain up to anuraga, and Subal and his associates attain up to the stage of mahabhava. Okay, so these are the beauty, the glories of Krishna's face and smile. Adya prema niti kama tatra anuragan tamasamanjasa ratir bhavanti manashiman samarthaiva prapadyate ratir narma vayasya nama anugrahanti man sthitam tesya eva subaladi nam bhavantam eva gacchati. Subal. Okay, so now what are Krishna's, so these are the glories of Krishna's activities and darshan, beauty. And now what are Krishna's birth and activities? So in response to this question, all at once Shukdev Goswami in 2 shlokas describes everything in summary, with the desire to satisfy his own longing and increasing the longing of Parikshit. So he came to this moment now, Krishna's beauty. So next 2 shloka he will summarize all the pastimes of Krishna, all the Leela in 2 shloka. And by hearing this, Parikshit Maharaj desire to hear Krishna's pastimes in detail will increase. So these 66 and 67th shlokas are like that. So these 2 shloka we will do tomorrow. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.